Man finds himself in electropop band, let the story commence. Craig found himself in electropop band. He couldn't believe it. He'd won. What had happened was this. The Pet Shop Boys, as part of a competition, no, not then, but no, said, listen, we don't like to bring this up, but we're not getting any younger. Okay? We're not getting any younger. We're going to need a replacement for one of us. We just need a new person to come in that will either replace Neil, the lead singer, or Chris, him in the keyboards. Whoever dies first, this third person will take over. We need a successor. It's a bit of a fun competition, but they were serious. All we ask is that you take part in a wee competition, see if you know the songs and all that. Send a wee video, and he sent a wee video thing in. Him going like that. It's a sin. And then he also sent a video of him standing behind a keyboard, sort of pressing keys, but not actually doing anything, just like Chris. A lot of Pet Shop Boys fans are going to hate me for saying that. And he won. So they went on tour. That was part of the competition, and they did videos about it. It was on social media. He'd just sort of sit at the side. They said to him, instead of sitting at the side and doing nothing, because that joke's wearing thin now. He did it for like about 2 weeks, and people would do videos, and so even though it's a new concert every night in a new place, Brazil, sort of like Rio and London and all the rest of it, people would put the videos on social media, so it got old. A bit like the whole Oasis thing. You see it to begin with, fucking hell, look, they actually live on the first night in Cardiff. They've actually there's fucking Liam, and there's Noel, and they're on the same stage. It's real. It's actually happening. And then, oh look, they're walking on M like that. Oh look, he went like that at the end. Like that. Fucking brilliant. Nancy. I'm so happy for Nancy. Is that her name? Is that the mall? Nancy? What's her name? Peggy. I knew it was one of the kind of old ones. Peggy. Everybody in the comments, so happy for Peggy, so happy for Peggy. Seeing her son, making up like this. But then after like a week, 2 weeks, you're like, all right. Kind of coming out like that, going away like that. Well, it's kind of like that with him, with Craig, sitting at the side of the stage. That joke wore thin, even for the people who hadn't seen this show yet, they'd already seen that. So they said, listen, would you mind doing a kind of Kate Blanchett sort of thing where the girl was crying in a latte? So you're like, would you be a kind of Bez sort of thing? Happy Mondays, you're just sort of like the dancer. And then when one of us die, you will then take care. So, like, you come out, right? And obviously there's people on the phone right away, ready to record like that. So you come out, right? Well, I don't. I've not seen that. What is it? A Kate Blanchett film? But no. Kate Blanchett's just like in the music video, but she came out at Glastonbury 2023, and there's a kind of dance sort of thing. You come and see the video; it's absolutely hilarious. Come in and look. You couldn't believe it. He's like, there's Neil Tennant and Chris Lowe for the Pet Shop Boys. I'm never going to get used to this. It's amazing. And come and have a look. So, so if you can do something like that, look at this person zooming in. She's an Oscar-winning actress. Kate Blanchett, Best Actress in a Leading Role. Blue Jasmine as Jeanette Jasmine Francis. I've not fucking seen this. This was Craig saying this, by the way. I've not seen this. Woody Allen. Manhattan Socialite. Changed the record. And that was Craig saying that, and Neil and Chris went, that's not very nice. Neil said that's not very nice. Chris laughed. And Neil went like that to Chris. And so I think I've got a hair in my eye. And Craig went like that. Craig thought, I can exploit this. Right, you following the story. It's a good story. By the way, I watched a wee bit of a film called Spy Game today. I'll tell you about it in a second. Remember to talk about Robert Redford's eyes. So anyway, he said, so that, if you could do that dance. And Craig said, so what kind of, at any time, just sort of come out and dance? We'll pick a song and then you dance to that. What would you think would be a good song to do that dance to? Craig said, domino dancing. They said, could you come out and maybe dance a bit like, you know that Fantastic Mime artist? This is on Neil. This was Neil's idea. Could you do be like that Fantastic Mime artist? That Howard Jones had for New Song, because he was really expressive. This is Craig. Fucking hate that cunt. And Chris laughed, and Neil went like that. Right, so you want me to come out like so I maybe get up off the seat and when you do domino dancing and then do some dancing? Yes. Right, just make it up. Just make it up. Right. So about halfway through the concert, domino dancing. Hey! And he's still sitting though. But then halfway through the song, it's kind of like an instrumental bit. Da 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 He gets up. Craig got up, right, and then went to the front and kind of started going like that, right. He was going to rehearse it, so I'll just sort of play it by ear, and did like a kind of dance thing. It's maybe like dominoes. So he's kind of going like that, sort of kind of mime. It's sort of shy. It wasn't very good. And then Neil sort of then came out and went like that to Craig like that, and then don't know why, I don't know how, I don't know, like that kind of move. Craig, like people kind of laughed, and when he went like that, he like actually put his hand in Craig's face a wee bit. Craig didn't like that. Craig looked at Chris like that, and Chris went like that. So after the concert, Craig said to Chris Lowe, right, I'm there. Him there. There's Neil. Him there. That's Neil, that's Chris. Said to Chris, do you want a slightly younger, still old, but slightly younger, said, you want to go out for a wee drink, a wee chat about the concert and how it went? And said to Neil as well, but knowing that Neil likes to do his own thing, said, Neil, do you want to go out for a wee drink? Get a few pints in and talk about the concert all night. And Neil went, they'll make it sound dead unappealing. Neil went like, no, thank you. I'm just going to head back to the hotel. So Craig and Chris went out, and Craig went like that. Don't want to moan. I'm really grateful for this opportunity. I didn't like the way that idea about dancing to begin with and kind of push him out the way. And I didn't like that. What do you think? Was it just me? What did it look like for where you were? And Chris went like that. I didn't quite like that. And Craig said, I notice you two don't agree with a few things, but like you say something's rubbish or something, he kind of takes it a bit seriously. Are you two know as pally as what it used to be? Is it just sort of taking its toll all these years together? He says, no, we'd still get on, but we've never really seen eye to eye anyway, but I suppose I kind of, we don't really mind showing it anymore that, we don't really see eye to eye, I suppose, but I just think he takes things a bit too seriously. And then Craig said, because I was thinking, I feel that it'd be good to kind of revitalise the band. I've been a Pet Shop Boys fan fucking years. That's why I applied to be in the band. I was thinking I was going to be taken over, but you 2 years in full health, it'd be 10, 20 years, by which point, your legacy will be all fucking burnt up with shite concerts and things like that. People just remember you as being shite. If we continue like this, I was thinking it'd be a good time to get ahead of that and maybe revitalise now. And Chris said, what are you suggesting? And Craig thought, he knows what I'm suggesting. He's just wanting me to say it. I'm just going to be bold here. Craig said, I think we need to get rid of Neil. Because I don't think he's the band. It's the music that's the band, do you know what I mean? I think if people were to go like that, what is the Pet Shop Boys? What do you think when you think of Pet Shop Boys? They'll say West End Girls and maybe, I don't know, It's a Sin or one or two other things, right? But in terms of the image and the music, they'll probably go like that. It's kind of electronic pop sort of band for the 80s. And then that'll make them think of you. You're there at the back of the keyboards because they think that, I know that Neil writes all this stuff as well, but they probably think it's you doing the music. If you were to say, what's the most iconic kind of look with the Pet Shop Boys, if you were to sort of describe them, what's the look? I think Merlin say, oh, it's a lead singer guy just kind of standing there singing. They'll talk about there's a guy on the keyboard at the back, sort of like never really smiles, got the sunglasses on and that kind of thing. I think you're the band. And I think Neil could get replaced easily. I think you're irreplaceable. So what I was thinking is we get rid of Neil now, and I come in and I sing. And Chris said, well, Neil's in pretty good health. I think it'll be quite a while before he pops his clogs and you actually get in. And Craig said, no, my point is, let's not wait until that point. And Chris said, well, what are you suggesting? Craig said, well, I'm not suggesting we murder him or kill him or anything like that. For God's sake. Chris went like that. Right. Craig went, anyway, if we could just sort of orchestrate something that Neil could maybe get a wee bit ill, and so somebody needs to step in rather than cancel the whole concert, and I'll step in. Chris went, can you sing? Craig said, well, remember I sent the video in? Chris said, I never checked it. It was just a PR company. It was the label. I can sing. Chris said, would you mind singing just now? Just so I can hear? Craig said, well, that's a wee bit embarrassing. So, well, you're going to be doing it in front of tens of thousands of people. And right. What do you want me to sing? Domino dancing. All right, then. I don't know why, I don't know how. Thought I loved you, but I'm not sure now. Look. Just like that. West End girls. Sometimes you're better off dead, is it? Could you sing It's a Sin? Right. At school they taught me how to. You're better than Neil. We need to do this. And Craig said, so what I was thinking was we maybe give him salmonella or something like that. Something it'll make him fucking quite bad for a few days, but no kill him. I step in and then I do that. Chris said, what about your first idea? Craig said, what was my first idea? Chris went, Craig said, oh, well, the idea that I didn't say, but maybe. Chris went, aye. What fucking. Kill him? Chris went like that. He's going to die anyway, isn't he? At least this way his legacy will be intact. He'll be remembered, as being kind of still half decent. So we're doing him a favour. Craig went like that. How would it? I said, I'll leave it up to you. So Craig went away and formulated a plan. At night, he sneaked in. That night, he sneaked into Neil's hotel room. For the outside, you know, 'cause cameras all down the corridors and all that. Kind of went down the side of the building with a rope and all the rest of it. Went in and had a stiletto. No, the shoe. Like that. A stiletto. That pure fucking ornate. None of this flick knife shite. None of the flick knife fucking pish lock knife thing. A stiletto. And went like that to stab Neil right through the heart. And fucking flash. And the lights went on. And Craig was lying there like, fucking 3 bullet wounds to the chest. And he looked and it was Chris. And Neil. And like security guards and that. And Chris and Neil. Chris was holding the gun. And Neil didn't look surprised at all. That this guy, you know, Craig had broken in, ready to fucking kill him with a knife. And Craig went like, I was set up, wasn't I? Set up for the start. But why? And Chris went like that. It's just a show business. That's show business. And Neil went like that. Good boy, Chris. Go back in your box. Neil was in charge the whole time. And Chris went into this wee box. A wee box. Neil went like that. So Craig, as you're dying there, I want you to think of this. I knew everything. I orchestrated the whole thing. Everybody thinks he's the fucking brains standing behind me with the keyboard and I'm the cunt that's been shoved out to the front. Other way around, mate. Other way around. But Chris left it a wee bit too late to shoot you, so he will be getting punished. And Neil walked out of the box that Chris was in, and he could see that the box had sort of like kind of things sticking out in these sort of like teeth, like a cog, but kind of cogs. It looked like the box could be tightened, and so he went like, and it really tightened the box, and it. And you could hear Chris low inside like that. Ow, it hurts. That's his accent. Because he's for Blackpool. And kept turning it. And then opened the box, tilted it out, and Chris Lowe fell out a cube that size. Still alive. And Neil said to Craig, that was my plan the whole time, to get rid of him and you. I orchestrated the whole thing. I'm the brains and the brawn of the whole thing. It's time for me to shine. I can play the guitar. Did you know that? I can play the piano. Did you know that? I can play that. Everybody thinks it's him. He can't fucking play anything. Did you see the video that Chris Lowe put out during lockdown? Of him playing, like, he did like a 10-20 minute video and playing like a keyboard. It was just him going like that, left him on devices. It was nothing. Anybody could do it. But by this point, Craig was dead, by the way. Neil hadn't noticed it. I was talking for about 3 minutes and Craig was fucking dead. And then Neil looked around, the security guards were away. Chris was dead. Craig was dead. He'd got everything he'd always wanted. And it inspired him to write a song called Alone. And it was fucking shite. Renamed the band Pet Shop Boy. And brought out this single called Alone. And it's like this. It sounded like this, honestly. Alone, alone, I'm finally alone. No, I'm finally alone. You were the first to let it out. Because you... Like that way that he sings now. You know what number it got to in the charts? And remember, it's piss easy to climb the charts these days. Piss easy. 62. And that was with him being in the news and everything. 60 fucking 2. Not even the top 40. Not bad. Fucking horrific. Pathetic. And I don't know if you've ever seen any wee kind of interviews with him, but he doesn't like getting his picture taken. He doesn't, you know, if somebody comes up, can I get a picture? He's like, no. Knew he was because he's desperate. He just went away, crawled under a fucking rock. Craig was put in that box with Chris and crushed even further. Until they were a tiny size. The end. And by the way, that is a true story. Do you want to know how I know? You know how I said he was made into a cube? That is what the Rubik's Cube is. This is Craig and Chris Lowe for the Pet Shop Boys. Because this is like the colours of the clothes they were wearing. Like bright clothing. And Blight. The Blight for Dead by Daylight. You shouldn't have let that story go on for so fucking long. It was your fault.